tackled many stories here on this channel, given some more obscure characters their time to shine. Sometimes a relatively major character from an early portion of Dragon Ball falls into obscurity too. And you folks asked for some of those classic characters to get their time to shine at last. So was the request from Charles Thomas, who wanted us to tackle a scenario in which our favourite pigman Oolong here becomes a Z-fighter. Can we do it? Of course we can, but let's place the story after the Frieza saga, or heck, even after the future Trunks saga, when he's already visited our heroes. At this point, Oolong isn't really doing much in the story. He's kind of just there in the background. His residence also shifts from time to time, as he tends to stop off at Capture Corporation or Kame House for temporary residence. But after all the adventures with aliens, Oolong decided to visit his home of Octagon Village and catch up with Jasmine and Unan, with whom he has since mended their relationship, because remember in the original Dragon Ball, his place there wasn't great. So while they were eating at a diner located in his hometown, he was telling his old buddies what's what.
So yeah, Goku's an alien, and there was a whole race of Gokus. Crazy, huh?
Unan yawned at this news.
I hardly remember the guy. It's mostly because he had a pretty hot wife.
Pigman was explaining in the most shallow way possible.
I mean, you're not wrong, but you should remember Goku. He kind of saved our port many times from other aliens. King Piccolo, also an alien. Those 3 guys who invaded a few years ago, also aliens, from Goku's race. They all turned into giant big apes.
You know, when you kidnapped the kindergarten teacher, everyone was saying that you were an alien. Oolong felt annoyed by that assumption.
Hey, that was a long time ago. I'm sure Miss Jimfo's already forgotten about that.
Jasmine leaned forward a bit. She screams every time someone mentions your name.
Also, what a stupid idea. Me? An alien? I'm just like you two, pork chops. Well, I mean, Unan looked at Jasmine. You do have those weird shape-shifting powers. Come on, you know the story. I'll learn them at a shape-shifting academy.
And your nana found you as a baby.
Wait, what?
Oolong blinked twice. Yeah, everyone knows that.
Didn't she tell you, Oolong?
Oolong was getting angrier and angrier.
What are you insinuating? That's silly. No, you're trying to mess with me. Cut it out.
Well, you can ask her when the last time it was you spoke to Grandma Chidao. Oolong pondered for a while this thought.
It's been some time. Damn it, Oolong! The poor old lady's raised you, and you're ghosting her? You should go and see her. She's old.
Jasmine then also berated her old pal for being inconsiderate. It seemed like he had a soft spot for the elderly.
Oh, we hadn't exactly parted ways on friendly terms. She wasn't too happy with me being expelled.
Unan blinked twice.
Wait, you're telling me that you haven't spoken to Nana since?
Oolong averted his gaze.
All right, you guys won. I'm gonna go and see her. But only to prove to you that I'm not some sort of foundling.
Pretty anxious, Oolong walked to a small hut on the outskirts of Octagon Village. He felt like his stomach was trying to crawl out through his mouth.
You got this, Oolong. You got this.
After a moment of hesitation, he knocked on the door. He could hear some slow, shuffling footsteps. Someone approaching the door from the other side. After a few seconds, he heard an old voice.
I don't need anything you sell. Go away, little rascal!
The voice was pretty hoarse and judgmental, just as he remembered it.
No, Grandma Chidao, it's me, Oolong.
There was a pause that seemingly lasted an eternity, and then the door opened. He saw a short, hunched-over old pig lady with cat-eye glasses over her eyes and very grey hair tied together into a tight bun. She had a dark green shawl over her shoulders, and she was looking at him with the expression of a huge shock on her face.
Grandma?
As she approached him, he expected a hug, but...
You rascal! Dare you to come here after all these years? You know how worried I was? Look at you! You look no good! What has become of you, boy?
She started to hit him with the shawl rolled up.
Oh, Grandma, I'm sorry. I mean, I was around. I wanted to visit. I just wanted to visit.
The hug came later, though, when Chidao calmed down a bit and was able to release all her pent-up frustration. There was a lot of it.
Well, I guess that I'm happy that you're still alive, you no-good piece of bacon. Truth be told, I thought you'd gone years ago. Come in. Leave the shoes in the front. You remember the rules.
As she walked him into her house, it was just like he remembered. It hadn't changed one bit. The smell of tea and the various mushrooms filled the tiny rooms. She even kept his photo on the wardrobe. This made Oolong feel very guilty.
Well, a lot of weird stuff's been happening around here. Demons, aliens, what's next? Freaky killer robots or something?
Funny you should mention that, Gran. Oolong puffed out his chest proudly. I was kind of in the middle of all that.
Were you? What are you up to these days? You certainly don't look like you're starving, though. You've grown a little chubby.
Me? Chubby? Well, you know that I'm a vital part of the Dragon Team Warriors?
Dragon Team what?
Alright, okay, let me start from the beginning.
And Oolong then started to tell her the entire story of the Dragon Team thus far, from his own perspective. And can you imagine there's going to be a little bit of embellishment here? He was so excited that he also forgot to emphasize his importance in all of those events. So around the Frieza saga, Grandma Chidao simply asked,
All right, but what's your role in all of this, really? Other than being a total perv and asking for underwear.
Hey, it was a strategic choice, alright? I stopped an evil emperor from taking over the world by doing that.
Chidao sighed.
Oh, Oolong, darling. We knew Emperor Pilaf here. He couldn't take over a plate of soup, not to mention the entire world. Yes, it sounds like you have very interesting friends. If I hadn't been keeping up with the news about the Saiyans, I wouldn't have believed you. The things you've been telling me are far too stupid to have been made up. Why haven't you volunteered to help your friends on that Numic thing?
Damn it, Grandma. Well, there are other people more suited to the task than...
I thought so. Cowardly. Lazy. You haven't changed at all, have you?
Oolong scowled.
It's almost as if you were glad that I'd gone.
Chidao paused for a moment though.
Oh, don't be such a drama pig. I did miss you, you insufferable delinquent. I just want you to become something more than a con man.
Well, I had a pretty big mansion.
Where is it now?
Well, let's switch the subject, Nana. I met up with Jasmine and Unan, and,
Those two again! Those two are always a bad influence toward ya.
well, they told me that apparently all of Octagon Village knows that I was the foundling. Preposterous, ain't it?
Chidao's expression changed as if she'd been hit by thunder.
Nana? Are you there?
Well, you see...
The old lady suddenly started to look as if she'd been caught stealing cookies from the cookie jar.
Wait, but you told me my parents had died in a truffle-seeking expedition. Well, it was kind of weird that there were no photos of the incident, but still. Have you been lying to me, Nana?
Chidao took a deep breath and sighed again.
Listen, the important thing is I raised you as if you were one of my own.
So it's true. You did find me. You really did find me.
Oolong couldn't believe his rather large ears. He was starting to sound a bit like Goku.
Yes, on a pretty weird night 24 years ago, I was working in my garden. The stars were particularly bright that night, and I heard a weird noise, and there you were, butt naked, loud in a basket, bawling your ears out.
Wait, what?
You left quite a ruckus, I can tell you. Seemed like you'd fallen from somewhere.
From the sky? Am I really an alien?
Oolong was shocked.
I don't think so, but you had something with you.
Oh man, so he really did come from a weird place. On one hand, Oolong was absolutely shocked by the revelation. Maybe he had some cool, amazing powers that he didn't realize he had, like Goku! With powers such as this, he could maybe have wealth, power, and, beautiful ladies. Maybe he could then find out how to unlock said powers.
Oh, what was it? Did you keep it?
Chidao rolled her eyes.
Yes, but, do you really want to see it?
Do I? Of course I do.
All right, oh, don't say I didn't warn you.
Chidao opened up one of the drawers and took out a small hand rake with 9 teeth. It kind of looked old-timey, but it was so small. Oolong examined it closer.
That's it? A rake?
I told you it wasn't much. Got your hopes up. Your parents were probably some sort of gardeners or farmers or something and forgot to take it out of their basket. Not every foundling's an alien. I'm sorry, Oolong. I should have told you earlier. Maybe then you would have turned out okay.
Hey, all was lost, Oolong thought. Maybe this was some sort of magical rake, you know? Goku had that whole power pole dealie. You know, he used that and that worked out kind of cool. It looked like a regular old stick most of the time, but it was actually pretty useful. Oolong gave the rake a few pathetic swipes, but nothing happened. Chidao seemed unconvinced by that, so the younger pig changed the subject. He did, however, keep the rake. He didn't throw it away. I mean, Grandma had little to no use for those rakes anyway, so why not take it? Her own garden rakes were much better as well. After drinking tea with her, he bid her farewell, though he had been blackmailed into promising that he would visit her again a lot sooner this time. Still though, the rake became an obsession for Oolong over the next few days. He asked Dr. Brief for help about it, and sure enough, it was just an old piece of garden equipment. Hey, maybe it's a little bit valuable? At some point, he asked Goku for help, so they decided to go to Korin and Yajirobe about it. Although he noted the craftsmanship of the power pole, though he couldn't remember any relics that looked like a rake. One of the biggest discoveries about the object, though, was shown when Goku decided to examine it. And with the right move, like a telescopic club, it expanded greatly.
Oh, so it is magical! Gimme!
Alright there, Oolong, but I gotta warn you.
Yeah, Goku had his power pole before, I know the drill.
Oolong jumped, trying to take the rake from Goku, and then fell to the ground under the weight of the object.
Oh, that's a lot heavier than I thought.
In fact, it was so heavy in this state that Oolong became trapped beneath it. Goku snatched it again and transformed it into a more portable version. There was one more person they maybe could ask for more information. Kami. As the old Namekian examined the rake, he nodded slowly. You're right, but it's not simply of a magical nature. It's divine.
What? Divine?
Oolong seemed shocked.
As if it came from the gods?
That's what I mean by that, yes. Although I am not sure of the one who made it. Maybe King Kai will have some answers.
Oh man, this is starting to look like trying to get your case out of the office. They always send you to the higher department. Goku, could you take me to King Kai?
Can do. And before Oolong realized it, he was instantaneously popped to a small planet where King Kai resided. As Oolong sheepishly handled the rake to the Kai, he examined it and started to laugh really, really loudly.
So that's why they sent you. Oh, that's precious.
So you know about this thing, King Kai? Goku seemed intrigued.
Oh, yeah, but right now, I'm talking to the pig, Goku, so, but anyway, yeah.
As he finished the sentence, Oolong felt that all of the gazes of Goku, King Kai, Gregory, and Bubbles were locked squarely on him, and he had no idea why. Oh